Mm,
Okay. Welcome to Training Tuesday. I am Peg Wilson, Star Director of Team Embrace. We have Lauren Mason, who is the Director of Team Hope, which I just found out what hope meant for, and that just warms my heart, Lauren. So welcome everybody to Tuesday Training. Tonight's topic is going to be on sponsoring. So let's kick this off. We don't have like a formal agenda, but let's kick it off by asking what your struggles are when it comes to sponsoring. Who wants to go? Don't all jump at once.
I'll go.
All right, Berlinda, go
oh,
ahead.
there we go. Okay, go ahead.
I'll go. I have trouble with rejection, when they tell me no. And I know, a lot of people say it's just no at right now, but I still take it personally. So I'm scared to get, and that would kind of fears me, to asking to join or to, start talking about it. But once I start talking about it, I'm fine. And then I can kind of go into it. But to first kick it off,
Like the
I'm scared.
conversation starter, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Yeah. And that's
So, how do you
intimidating, I
generally
think,
start
for
the
a lot of people.
conversation?
I would, I don't even know how it would just be something in random, or hi, how you doing, and we're in line, and we're this line is sure is going slow, and I just start making a conversation, and next thing I know, I'm starting, talk about Scentsy, and then I kind of shy away, like I imagine they don't want to hear about Scentsy, or they're not giving any kind of response or facial expression, or anything. So I just kind of shy away and just start talking about the weather, just something, change the subject.
You know what?
It scares me.
Well, I think a lot of that is mindset, and I mean, that's something that you just have to practice and you have to work on the mindset. I mean, not that that's the answer for everybody. I mean, for me, I think you all know I could have a conversation with a paper bag and, I'm not, I'm not embarrassed to talk to anybody about anything. So, it's hard for me sometimes to relate to that feeling uncomfortable, but so many people have that. And I really think that a lot of that goes back to your mindset. You have to feel like you are offering them the best thing in the whole world. So if you had $100 in your pocket and you were going to offer that person $100, do you think you'd feel shy about it?
Yeah, I would. I would think, why do I need it? Or, I would just, it would just, it's just the way I
So
think.
you're just second
Just like
guessing
you're
yourself
saying.
no matter what.
Yeah, you just, well, I would just take it, in a negative way,
Okay. So it
if
is.
they,
It's mindset.
okay.
So, that is, I mean, for you and it's mindset. And that's honestly, Berlinda, you're not uncommon with that. I'm sure that, I mean, by show of hands, who kind of feels that way? You feel awkward when you're approaching somebody and, and it's the mindset of, well, how's this person going to feel? And are they going to judge me? Because we all naturally, I think, make it about us. Naturally you're all making it about us because you feel like you're saying, join my team. And this is something that like topic we talked about a little bit on my team page, where don't make it about you. Join my team. Just say, you know what? You would be so good at this. Have you ever thought about doing that? Make it about them. Like you're offering them, because think of it this way. That person that you feel uncomfortable about, and like you're afraid to offer them $100 because they're going to say, why? Do I look like I need $100? Think about what if that person needed this like they needed to breathe, and you're holding back and not giving them that opportunity. Like you could save their life, and you're not offering them the opportunity. You're not saying, I mean, guess what? They might not need saving today, but maybe you're that one person that can offer them the opportunity for something that's going to be life changing for them. It's going to be something that can, change their world. I mean, I have a girl who was on one of these pay it forward pages, and she was, looking, I mean, she was always asking for stuff because she didn't have any money, so I said, guess what? I've got a free kit. I have a $500 party going in, and I said to her, I have a free kit. She loves Scentsy. She always wanted to buy it and she never has enough money to buy it. I offered her that kit and offered her the opportunity to not ask people for money, but make money on her own. And guess what? She joined the team and she's making money. So she's not making a ton of money, but she's the same way. She's embarrassed. She's afraid to put it out there. And I keep saying to her, what if this could help you, feed your cat? I mean, she doesn't have kids. She's got pets. But what happens if your dog was really hungry and you knew that if you could sell $100 worth of Scentsy, you would have enough money to buy your dog food? Think of it in that mind frame, and for her, that's working. That's working because then she doesn't feel like she's doing it for herself. She feels like she's doing it to help her dog, So, I mean, it's a matter, it is, it's all perspective. It's all mind frame. It's all the way that you feel comfortable approaching it. What would you say, Lauren?
I was just going to say, I think anytime you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it's going to be intimidating. The more you do something, the more you become confident in yourself. Just like anything that you start that's new. Like even when you started with Scentsy, you were probably like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Like, nervous at first. And then you kind of get your feet wet and you start moving a little bit and you start having parties and, even thinking about going live on your pages. I remember the first time I went live on my Facebook page, I was nervous Nelly when I tell you. I was so scared. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know half these people. I'm like, they're going to judge me. They're going to look at my hair. And then I stopped caring what everybody else thought. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me. And the way I sponsor is I just try to keep it casual and not forced. I just try to make it like casual conversation. You don't have to necessarily just talk about, just about Scentsy. You can talk about life. And then all of a sudden you're talking about joining your team, And to be honest with you, a lot of the people on my team are like all my VIP customers. I'm like, I kind of basically just put it as, you're your own best customer. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. Like, but it's true. You make money back on your purchases. You love the product. Why not just, make money back on what you buy and have fun doing it? And most of them all told me no at first. And then I circled back and eventually they were like, okay, I'll try it. Probably just to shut me up. But I mean, I get the fear of rejection because I get the same way. I get my feelings hurt sometimes, but the more you do it, you kind of know how to respond back of, well, okay, well, not right now, but just keep it in mind for the future. It's always, the opportunity is always there if you change your mind and, those kinds of things.
So I have a problem with asking them when I'm doing an event. So when I'm doing a home party, I can always put it down like, hey, this is what you would have earned if you would have been selling instead of just having the party. And then the guest, I can say, this is what your host earned. What have you ever thought about doing it? But I have a harder time when I'm at events because people are just coming in and looking and they're picking out what they want. And then they bring it to me and I check them out. And I don't know how to start that conversation.
Do you use drawing slips at your events?
Yes, but 90% of the people won't fill them out.
Okay.
I have a really hard time getting them to fill them out.
You know what I do? I tell them at the end of the event, I'm doing a drawing for a warmer. And when they say which warmer, I say, well, whichever one, whatever ones I have left of the ones that I have left, you can win one of these warmers. And I get them to fill it out. And I tell them that I need their email address and their phone number at least on there. And there is that section that says if they're interested in this. So they're the people that I start the conversation with.
Do you have them hand you the slip?
Yep. I always put the box far away. I have them hand me the slip and then I have a conversation with them while I'm holding the slip. I have a conversation with them and then I turn the slip over and I write on the back of it the conversation that I had with them. So I'll be like, lady with red hat with 3 kids,
Okay, because I just put it out at the end of my table.
Yeah, and I specifically say, oh, did you enter my drawing? Even the people that just come in and browse and say, hey, I'm doing a drawing.
Okay.
Don't miss the opportunity, and some people won't even ask what you're chancing off, but other ones will.
Right.
And usually I just do a mini warmer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I never do anything but a mini warmer.
Yeah.
At the most.
So something that I do, Ruth, is when you don't have a lot of people there all at once, but maybe like one or two, you can kind of keep an eye and like see what they're looking at, what they're thinking about buying. And we'll try to go up and have that conversation at that point with them, what they're looking at, and be like, oh, well, do you buy a lot of Scentsy? Or, ask them stuff like that, just to kind of get them talking and, get to know, like, yes, they do like Scentsy, they buy it all the time. And then I'm like, well, have you ever thought about joining and make some extra cash? Especially since you're buying a lot, why not just make the money off of the stuff that you buy yourself?
Okay.
And it's not really like pushing them into the fact of like, join my team, you sell it. It's more of join my team, get money back on yourself.
Okay.
And it really is, I mean, honestly, it's making it about them.
Exactly.
And like Dijon, not to be critical of that, but I don't even say join my team.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't say
I
this.
say like, you'd be good at this.
Yeah, I don't say join my team. I'm just giving saying as far as the fact of, for them to make money on themselves. But like for me personally, like what I say is, do you buy a lot of Scentsy? Have you thought about joining Scentsy?
Okay. Because all 5 girls on my team, they asked me if they could join my team. I didn't recruit a one of them.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how to do it. Other than when I'm doing a party. I'm only doing it if I have a house party. Yeah. Okay.
It's really just starting the conversation on. I mean, I do those things with personal links now. Like the personal links are really good. And then the people who have the personal link and say, you know what, you love Scentsy so much. Why don't you just, sign up and then you get a discount for yourself? You might as well get paid back on your own purchases. And then this way, when your friends want to buy it, they could buy it from you. And I mean, I do have those people who come back with the, oh no, I like buying from you. And, I wouldn't want to hurt your business. And I'm like, no, you won't be hurting my business. You're helping my business. I mean, part of this is me growing a team too. And, and I mean, that's the only time that I bring it in to it being about me. You know what I mean? Like then you're joining my team. No, it's not going to hurt me. I mean,
a lot of people, it's really common that people think it's actually going to like hurt your business for them to sign up. So they make it like, oh, well, I don't want to like take anything from you. And it's like, no, it's okay. And try to like spin it a little bit. So
I had to really talk to my cousin about this because she, like, when she joined, she was like so afraid. Well, I'm going to take all your customers because it's family. And I'm like, I know other people than family. If you want my family, take it. I don't care. I got other people. Cool. I'm not gonna, I mean, her mom and all them were buying from me. And I'm like, well, I can tell you right now, you got your mom, you got your sister, you got your brothers, you got our aunt, whoever, in our family that buys. I was like, they can buy from you. I don't care. And to be completely honest, her mom still buys from me too.
I think honestly too, and when you put it out that way, it makes it seem like you have so much business that it doesn't matter if you lose them. It makes you seem so successful too, and it's like, no, I've got plenty of customers. It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
It would still benefit me because when you buy stuff for yourself, it goes into my team numbers. So it still benefits me. And, and like, that's usually the way that I spin it, and, because a lot of my people are like, oh no, I know you like earning the trips and stuff like that. I go, no, you'd be helping me earn a trip. That would be great. So that's the only time that I bring in the, it would be about me, but I always try and make it is to, you'd be really great at this. Have you ever thought about doing this? You'd be so good at it. That's sort of my favorite line to start with, you'd be really good at this. Have you ever thought about trying it? It's so easy and, I love it. And I know you love Scentsy, you might as well.
Yeah. And our host kits are like amazing, like what they can do to your business if you just offer it to your hosts that you have and just like, hey, like, have you thought about it? I can flip the PRV to you. I can, and I just like you guys said, you break it down for them of what they would get, with their kit. Then you'd also talk about the commission they would make on the party in addition to the host rewards they get too. So it's kind of like, it's one big, beautiful package that you get, which I wish they would have had when I started. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, really. Well, I'll tell you, you know what? And honestly, what my biggest problem is? My biggest problem is giving people too much information. I can't stop myself from talking. I just say too much. And, I think we have a tendency to get so excited about the business when somebody else is excited too. we have a tendency to get excited, and then you give them too much information, and then it's overwhelming, and they're like, I can't do this. And it's also attracting people. I mean, the way that you attract people too is like what you're posting on your Facebook and stuff like that. Live the life that they would like to replicate. You know, don't just sell. Just, live your life. And they're like, oh, and my, Scentsy affords me, like every time I go and get a massage, I go, thank you, Scentsy commission. I'm going to get a massage today, and my commission's paid for this. And when I bought my appliances, it was like we had a good month. This was the best month ever, without income disclosure, but this was the best month that I ever had. I got promoted this month, so I was able to buy all new appliances, and people are like, really? You make that kind of money? Because people know what it costs to do a whole room full of appliances, so they're going, really? That's what you made? So I said it without saying what I made. And that's a nice way to get people kind of the, attraction, so that they come to you, Ruth, and say, I want to do this too, And I mean, I honestly, Dawn Hawks tells everybody all the time, she got so tired of seeing my post about all these places I was going, and I'm going here, I'm going there. That was the year that I went on the Mediterranean cruise. I went to boot camp in Boise, and we went to SFR was in Anaheim. So like that year I traveled the freaking globe, and she was like, okay, what is it that you're doing? Because I want a piece of this, and that was just me being, authentic and real about what I was doing. And, and then it does attract people. So that way it makes it so much easier to open the conversation, but it's, and I mean, use your hostess kits. And I mean, again, anytime you gather enough orders to get yourself a hostess kit, put it out there. Every single time, put it out there.
Because somebody will take it
for a
eventually.
host exclusive kit. Well, go ahead, Lauren. What was that?
They will take it eventually. You'll find someone.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to keep asking. And if
I will leave my party, if it's my own personal party, I will leave that $500 party sit there until I have to close it. So, and have that opportunity out there. And I just look for somebody. I look for somebody to say, hey, guess what? And I don't always offer it to them for free either. That's also something, don't give away free kits, because you want somebody who is really going to work the business. Otherwise you just gave away a kit and they're not going to do anything. And that's not going to benefit you in any way at all. So you definitely want it to be something, be selective about who you offer that to. And I usually don't do the free kit. I mean, I did it for that one girl, but other than that, I think there's only one other person I gave a kit to. It's usually always at least the $59, because you want them to have some vested interest in it. So what are some of the other struggles? How about you, Melissa?
I'm the same way as Ruth. I don't push it. It's just when they come, they come. And if they don't, they don't. It's something I enjoy. If they didn't want to try it, they can. And that's how I do both of them. I don't chase people. I don't like chasing people. If you have fun doing it and if you like seeing what I'm doing, then come on, let's do it together.
So how does the conversation go though? When, you just wait for them to approach you?
It all depends on, I ask people, but I ask regular customers who are, they're like, oh, I need to try, what's this one smell like? Well, you could find out sooner, and it just depends on the conversation. Because if it's someone who's looking for samples, then I'm always like, well, you could have this one 2 weeks early if you were signed up as a consultant and things like that. And they were like, especially like the warmers that were selling out that we were getting every month.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I had 3 of them on the line, but I don't push. And I know that's my fault.
How about you, Missy?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I really haven't had any parties either. I mean, the only ones that I've really had open are like mine right now. But it's just everything that's been going on. That's why I said to my husband, I said, since we start doing this other stuff, we're doing like 4 different type businesses right now besides us working full time. So I'm like, all right, something's got to give. So that's why I told him, I said, Saturdays, I have to, if we don't have to go shopping for other things, I said, I got to sit down and finally get my area down in the basement. You put up shelves, and I got other stuff down there. I got to start like doing things. I just got to, get somebody to kick me in the ass to do it. But no, I'm the same way. I mean, I don't like.
I'm on my way.
I wish. Let me tell you, I need somebody to kick me in the ass. I need, that's what I said to him. I said, I want to make the samples like you do. I see how organized you are, and I'm like, why can't I be like that? I just want to be organized, be able to do the samples like I'm supposed to do. And, I still reach out to people and things, but, not as much as I know I probably should,
But one thing that I will say is a lot of people do multiple businesses, and, there's nothing wrong with doing multiple businesses. But what I have found is that when you do multiple businesses, you're not hugely successful in any one. It's really difficult to be successful in more than one. And from a customer perspective. So if I were buying things from you, so if you're selling Pampered Chef one week, and then you decide to give up Pampered Chef, and then you're doing Color Street, and then you're doing Paparazzi, and then you're doing Scentsy, I'm not ever going to take you serious with any one business.
Well, that's the thing. Bill does all the woodworking and I do the Scentsy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, it's not like, he does all that stuff,
right.
So
and
that's what I mean by
not overlapping. It's not another.
That's not overlapping anything. You know what I mean? It's, but, that's what I said to him. I said, but we both, with everything that's been going on, we've had a lot going on. My daughter's working. Sometimes I have the kids, and then I'm doing this, and I'm so frazzled. I'm getting too old. I said I'm going to be 55. When, this is supposed to be fun now. It's not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be able to retire by now. I posted something out. That's not happening.
My leadership group today, I posted something out there about sometimes, in order for you to be successful, sometimes you have to recognize when you need to step back and take a breather. And, maybe you need to take a month off. You step back, you take a breather, you collect yourself, get your shit in order, and then you move on. But you have to recognize, because that's when people fizzle out and they quit.
Right.
You have to say, I'm overwhelmed right now. I can't fit this in right now. But that's the beauty of this business. The beauty of this business is when you're tapped out, you can step back and then step back in again. So, don't be afraid if you find yourself in that position, just step back. Your customers have your website. If they're ready to order, they'll order or they'll reach out to you. So maybe now it's not the time that you need to say, oh my God, I have to make samples. I have to get myself organized. You've got a lot going on in your life. So, give yourself a week or two, straighten yourself out, and then step back in. Give yourself a month.
Yeah. That's what I said to him. I said, something's got to give, because he even said to me, he says, you got to do something with Scentsy. I said, I'm like, I'm trying to do stuff. It just doesn't seem to be falling into the places where I wanted to fall into.
I know it's true for myself. When I've got so much to do, your brain gets so fogged with so much, and then you do nothing.
Exactly. And that's the problem I'm at right now.
So
right.
You know what I mean? Everything that's going on right now, it's like, I need to do this, or I need to do that. Or, like I said, we're opening up this kitchen over at the Moose Lodge. So we're only there Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So, but then during the week, I have to drop the grandkids off at the sitters, and because my daughter's working, and then myself or my husband, because I've been working till 6, 7 o'clock at night because I have to make up hours from when I had COVID. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, everything will die down and go back to normal, and I can actually get back to where I want to be.
If you give yourself that time though, give yourself that time, and then you come back and you're as excited. You can't be excited when you're overwhelmed, and you can't sponsor anybody. Nobody wants to join you if you are frazzled and overwhelmed. So
exactly,
you have to make this look easy, and that's what's going to attract people. So give yourself some time.
My biggest thing is like the posting in not even just in my group, but I know I can set posts up there, which is great. I wish I could be able to set regular posts up on my regular Facebook page.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you can't do it on regular Facebook.
No, you can only do it in your groups.
Right. So my biggest thing right now is, like I said to him, I just would like to just sit down and just get a whole bunch of posts ready to go, but I never know, should I just post like stuff about Scentsy, or should I just post a few things about my life? Should I post like games? You know, it's like, is it like different things that you know, that's
See,
the
the
only
way
thing
that
I was never too
I
sure of.
find like my, you know, we're a little off topic, but you know, my
Sorry.
attraction marketing, I do Monday is like motivational Monday. I'll try and do some post that's about that. And Tuesday is tip Tuesday. And whether it's a tip about Scentsy or it's just a tip about life in general, you know,
Right.
and then Wax Wednesday, I always do Wax Wednesday, you know, or Wacky
Right.
Wednesday. I mean, sometimes I'll
Right.
do
I
something
gotcha.
crazy on my page, you know, but if you think in that mind frame, you know, so you wake up Monday and you go, oh, okay, it's motivational Monday. Let me find something motivational to post out there,
Right.
you know, because you want people to kind of become a follower of you.
Right.
You know, they
That's what I
enjoy.
said to him. I said, you know, I don't have anybody under me yet, because I'll be honest with you, I really don't ask. I mean, I'm not comfortable with, you know, if I could sit and talk to you for hours face to face. And it's so weird because like if I either get on the phone, I can't seem to pick up a phone. It's ridiculous because I'm like you, Peg. You've seen me at shows.
Yeah.
The couple of times you walked away from the booth, I walked over to the booth. I helped people and they bought stuff from you. So I know I can do it. That's not the point. I just want somebody under me and I'll be happy.
She was my bathroom buddy. So that's how we became friends. I mean, she was, you know, selling another product in the booth next to me. I'd be like, can you just watch? I got to run to the bathroom, you know? I'd come back and she'd be like, yeah, well, I sold 6 bars. And I'm like,
So Missy, with how crazy that you feel right now, like overwhelmed and everything, why don't you just set out like an hour of your time? Just pick one day, set an hour of that day, and just work specifically on one specific thing within your business, instead of
Right.
like having your mind focused and going on like, oh well, what should I do? Just like think about it, like sit there and think, okay, I really want to work on recruiting, so look up videos on, you know, recruiting, things like that. Just, you know, do something productive with the Scentsy side for an hour.
Right.
That gives you at least
Okay.
some time to, you know, work your business. It's also helping you, you know, feel more confident to be able to pick up the
Right.
phone to, you know, get on that phone and say, hey, have you thought about joining? Or, hey, have you thought about having a party? You know, different things on that
Right.
end. So it'll kind of help you out on that end as well.
Gotcha.
Just set
Thank
an
you.
hour of time, you know.
so Missy,
one day
like
a week.
on the note of the way DeJean's saying it. So think of it this way. You're, you know, Scensy's your part-time job. Okay. So Scensy's your part-time job and you're your boss. You're also your employee. Okay. So if you schedule a meeting with yourself every day at 4:00 for an hour to work for yourself, for your Scentsy business, you know, if you're your boss, would you promote you? Would you fire you? Would you give
No,
yourself
I'd fire
a
me in
raise?
a heartbeat. I'm horrible.
Would you pay you at all? You know? So, okay. So you
I
are your
gotcha.
boss. You set a meeting up with yourself. So your meeting is such and such a time. And you could do that with every single thing that you've got in your life.
Right.
You know, I mean, all the businesses that you've got going on, if you schedule the time, treat it like a business. Treat your life like a business. You know, schedule your time. And you know, schedule personal time for yourself too. You know, if you put that in there and you say, this is the time that's set aside for me, and then no interruptions, you know, you say to Bill, you say to your daughter, look, this is my time. That's it. You know, leave me be. The only thing is the grandkids come in and that all goes to pot. We know the way that
Pretty
works,
much.
you know, like,
Or even if you get out of the
okay,
house
whatever I
and
was
go
doing.
get a pedicure. I did that. I went out of the house and I just went and got a pedicure. It was the best half hour ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And
something.
it is. So Mandy, Mandy, we can't see you, but unmute yourself and tell us what your struggles are as far as sponsoring.
I don't have really, I seem to sell a lot of the big warmers, but like one time only buys. So I have one person that like is currently hosting a party for me, and she's the only one I'm thinking at this point I'm going to recruit. She's been a dear friend of mine for years. And she's very creative, so I think it would be a good match for her. I just haven't broached the subject with her as of yet. But I'm planning on it. but
Yeah,
she would be
and I told you we can have
one that I
practice
kind of
combos.
got a
I'll do
sense
practice
that.
combos with you, Mandy.
What's that?
I'll do practice combos with you.
Yeah, I'm not nervous about like her shooting me down, because she's not going anywhere. But and she loves, like, she's more of the essential oils. Like she bought a ton of things off of me, and she's really involved in her church, so I think she'd be very successful. Like she has a lot of potential people that she could get sales from. um but I'm trying to, like, and all my people, I don't have a lot of locals, so I'm trying to find my, in the COVID atmosphere, more locals. Like about 3 weeks ago, I put around the neighborhood a whole bunch of Happy Mail, like on people's doorsteps. And I have one neighbor that said, "Oh my goodness, I haven't had a chance yet, but thank you so much for leaving me that Scentsy, goodie bag. I really appreciate it." But nobody else really kind of turned. So I'm thinking, like, in another couple weeks, I'm gonna hit those houses again, and leave them another. Like, it was nothing major, actually. It was all the fall. It was an actual, like, Happy Mail. But it was also, I just used my old testers from fall and winter, the ones that were going out, because I figure I'll just buy the transitional kit again when it comes around next fall. So I'm just trying to get more local business, and I definitely want to. I've been looking into events. I just don't know, like, you know, without paying $200 for a table, how I get myself into an event.
Mandy, one thing that I would suggest, so a
Yeah,
lot of the events, there are some events that are cheaper, but think about pairing up with another consultant on your team. I mean, I do with my team, I do ride-alongs all the time. And I say to somebody, like, hey, do you want to split a table? And, you bring your stuff, I bring my stuff, and then we kind of work it out at the end. Um,
right.
so I mean, I've done that, and that's a good way to
Gotta
get
find
yourself into an
somebody.
event.
Anybody else on the team in Oklahoma?
Oh, is that where you are, in Oklahoma?
Yeah. Yep. Oklahoma.
So I
It's
actually
like, a lot
understand
of
that
my
there are a lot of
customers are
events
in
out there.
Florida. A lot of my customers are in Florida because I moved to Oklahoma about a year ago.
Okay. So you had mentioned that you have a lot of people who buy like one warmer and then it's kind of a one-time purchase. What's your follow-up system like?
I'll usually send them like a thank you. About a month later, with like the scent circle, or the scratch and sniffs. Like, the thank you mail. I don't do a lot of, like, I do periodically say, so how did you love that warmer? Um, or they'll do like wax, but then they, pretty much when they stock up on wax, they're good for a couple months, good 3-4 months, because they're buying, 12 bars or
Right,
something.
right. So that they're
Have
the
you?
people that you want to get them interested in something else. So
I
they're
was
the
just
Yeah.
ones
gonna
you want to
say
send
that
them.
too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lauren, go.
So what I was gonna suggest, Mandy, was to try and start sampling maybe, counter clean, or something from the laundry line, those kinds of things, to kind of shift them from just warmers and wax and get them into the different lines that we offer, the body line, the laundry, the clean. There's definitely ways, inexpensive ways to do that too with the Happy Meal and stuff. There's a lot of great things in the consultant store. They have the pre-made body line packages and they're real thin too, so you can mail them to your customers. You can
Right.
put them in with orders and stuff like that too, which is good. So that's something to think about, and we can chat some more on that. And I can show you some things, like different places where I bought, like the little spray bottles that you can do for the counter cleans, and you can use a what are they called? She's talking. Peg uses these like thin, like they're almost, I forget what they're called, like the ready wipes.
The terry cloth type.
Yeah,
The handy
I did
wipes.
the
handy wipes.
sponges.
Handy
I
wipes.
did the sponges, which I loved. I actually had some leftover. I did that in the neighbors ones, with the counter clean, where I
Oh,
soaked them in the, but I love the laundry line. I love the cleaning line. I personally only have one warmer, other than my one that came, with the kit.
Mhm.
But I don't really need. I definitely tend to go away from the warm. I'm more into the diffusers, the laundry, and the counter. The cleaning products. That's where my love lies.
Well, you know what, Mandy, that is so refreshing to hear, because so many people, it's always wax and warmers, wax and warmers, wax and warmers, and they
Mhm.
forget about all the other stuff we have. And you're the opposite.
Yes, I am.
Mhm.
That's cool.
So yeah, I really want to find more local business, and I just got to figure out like whether I join a club somewhere or I
Are you on any
got
like Facebook groups like in your town, like mom groups or like just regular?
no.
Because like sometimes you join them and you end up connecting with people that way too. Like even if it's like some common interest or like
Well,
I have
I've
a lot
done,
of South
the
Jersey mom
the
pages I'm on.
teachers
And
of
I
all
see
my kids,
people.
my two kids, all my kids, my herd of kids now, my two kids. I reached out to them with Happy Mail too, because I'm thinking maybe they have children, maybe they have friends, that are interested in it as well.
Yeah, like
So
all
I
the mom.
started with them. I'm just, yeah, but I think like maybe, church, like at least for my event, like, when they do like little gatherings where people do, sell their
Like a
hobbies
worship.
and stuff after church. And
Yeah.
And honestly, Mandy, brand yourself. Brand yourself is really, really a big thing. People will approach you when they see you wearing, they'll be like, oh, you sell Scentsy. I have had people run me down in the mall parking lot because I have the big
really,
Scentsy logo.
are you serious?
Yes. I mean, I have had people go, oh my God, you're a Scentsy consultant. Do you have a catalog? I haven't seen the new spring catalog yet. I'm like, oh yeah, I got one in my car. Like I always make sure that I'm branded. Like I'm always
Wow.
wearing a shirt, a bag, a hat, something that says Scentsy, and it's on my car. I have the big logo on my car, and I always make sure that I have catalogs with me. And if I don't have catalogs, I make sure that I have a business card, and I ask them to write down their information so that I can get their email address, and follow up with them. And I'm like, well, why don't you give me your number, and I'll follow up. And I have a thing on my phone called a popple. So I'll show
Yeah.
you guys. See this?
Yes.
Cost me $15. It literally is a little skinny thing that sticks to the back of my phone. And it's a program, it's an app that you upload. And when somebody taps the back of your phone, it actually brings up all of your social media stuff. I'm trying to find my little Popple app here, but it will bring up all of your social media stuff so that when they tap on your phone, and I can't find it right now because my phone is like buzzing all over the place. But when it comes up literally with all of your contact information, anything that you put in there that you want to share with them. And I can't find the app.
I was at the
Technology
gas
is not- Oh,
station
here it
last
goes.
night and I had a guy stop me. He seen my label on the back of my car.
Yeah, your
Yep.
car is definitely
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, so this
Yeah.
is my Popple app. So literally, if they tap their phone camera to my Popple app, this is what will come up, and it has all of my.
Oh,
And then
that's
let me
really
scroll.
cool.
So it has, when I scroll, it has all of my stuff there. Wait, I'm moving it.
Right.
I'm not trying to move it. I'm trying to scroll. But see, it has all my Venmo, all of my social media, all the ways that they can contact with me. And when they pop on it, then they could just save it out. So that's a good way that if you don't necessarily have business cards or anything with you, we always have our phone with us. So the
Yep.
Popple has my information there. They get to save my contact. And then I'll say to them, well, send me a text. Now you have my
Wow.
contact information, send me a text, and and I'll make sure that I get your information and get a catalog in the mail. I mean, that's a good way to get their information without, giving them the catalog and then you don't know who they were.
Right. Exactly. Mhm.
You
That's
know, so
cool.
all right.
But
So
yeah, no, I don't have
we're
any
running
brand
out of
new things.
time. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So I am
Yep.
just
Peg,
going to
is that POPIL?
POPL.
POPL. Okay.
Yep. And it cost me, I think it was $14.99 or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I ran into some kind of special or whatever, but it's not expensive, and it's just a little tiny thing, very easy to set up. I am a technology idiot, and I could set it up. So if I could set it up, anybody can set it up. It was very, very easy. And I mean, sometimes I have some people, it doesn't work on their phones, but really all they have to do is put their camera up to my phone. And I go, oh, do you have your phone with you? Put your camera on, tap it to my phone. And it'll bring them up. And as soon as they open it up, and it does it just like when you scan somebody's QR code, you know, it comes up, and then you have to tap it. It opens up in Safari or whatever, you know, whatever your browser is. This basically does the same type thing.
I'm still learning on how to try to make one. I've literally tried like 5 times and I'm
What, a
still
QR code?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I've gone out there a couple of times, and you
Make
know,
one
if you
what?
pay for one, you get to keep it. Melissa will help you with a QR code, won't you, Melissa?
I was gonna say, yeah, like, what are you trying to make?
I'm just trying to, I don't know, like I feel like all the websites I go on, I try to use it and then it doesn't work and I don't know how to say, I don't know what the heck.
Look, she's the QR queen.
Yeah, can you help me?
All right, you
Yes.
two
All
need to
these
connect.
people put them on everything and it
Yes,
works.
I do.
Yes, it does, because you know what? This generation, they don't want to sit typing it in. They want to go scan, boom, off.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. You know, you want to make it easy for them to buy from you.
Yes.
So, all right. So we got
actually
like
thinking
about 10 minutes left. So before we log off, I'm going to ask the directors that are on the page. We'll start with you, Dijon. And why don't you give your best tips on sponsoring, ways to start the conversation, ways to end the conversation, ways to close the deal.
Honestly, for me, my main thing is events. That's how I get most of mine. So when I go up to them, or even if someone, goes on Facebook, for example, and asks, does anybody have this? If it's something that I have, I'll tell them I have it. And then I just start the conversation with do you like Scentsy? Do you buy Scentsy a lot? This is the best way for you, to make some extra money. As far as when some people, are like, well, isn't it really hard to sell Scentsy? And I just, instead of saying, oh, well, it's $200, every 4 months, that just confuses everyone. So what I actually do, I said, honestly, it's really easy. All you have to do is sell 7 6-pack of bars and you've already met your quota. So, and when they think of that, they're like, oh, well, I have like 7 friends that can easily do that. So then they're like, oh, well, that's not hard. So that's
a good way
honestly,
to spin it, because then because a lot of people see the numbers and I think that's what sometimes, scares them a little bit. But if you say it that way, it's like, oh yeah, I know 7
right,
people.
exactly. I don't even say like 200. I just say 7 6-pack of bars. And they know that the 6-pack, because most people buy a 6-pack, so they know that it's $30 and they're like, oh, well, that's pretty easy.
I'm gonna use that. So
That's good,
perfect.
Dijon. Ruth, maybe you and Dijon can touch base, when you're doing an event, and she can give you some ideas on what to say, at different events that you're at to help.
Okay.
If that's your main source of recruiting, that's good. And that's honestly, like, we want to encourage this group to, like, when you find somebody that is doing what you're trying to do, connect with that person. I mean, that's it, already tonight. So we'll have Dijon and Ruth can connect with each other on the events. We have Lauren and Melissa are going to connect on QR codes,
Yes, please.
so do that. I mean, use our entire group, we're all under, Millionaire Minds. So use each other to help build your business. That's what we're all here as a team to do. So Lauren, go ahead. Why don't you give some good tips?
I think the best tip that I can give for sponsoring is, I mean, like I talked about before, I think the easiest conversation starter is with my best customers, of talking about, you'll make money back on your purchases and things like that. But also, like, basically telling them, you can earn your kit for no out-of-pocket costs. I was saying before that you would start your business for free, And then Scentsy made a post about saying, well, you really can't say that because it's actually false about starting your business for free because, there's different things. So saying you can start your business at no out-of-pocket cost, and this is how you do it. And I just break it down very easily. I say, all you have to do is host a party and we'll do it together. And once you reach that 500, there's your kit. You start your business for free. You still have some leftover, rewards that you can use for yourself. It's like, I think if you have 500, it's like 15, 16 bucks left over. You got your half priced items, and then you also get the commission on it too. So, I mean, to me, if I was the other person, I would, I think that sounds amazing. And like Peg said, you just make it about them and keep the conversation, about them and why is this life changing? And, until you experience it for yourself, like my lovely Mandy, I don't know if you want to share, but when I tell you my heart smiled from ear to ear, like I wanted to cry because I was like, it's your aha moment tonight when you posted in your group. And I was like, oh, yay. I was so happy for you because it's about, like Scentsy isn't just warmers and wax, it's the group of people that we get to meet. And it's about what you get to do with your life. And it gives you freedom and it gives you passion and it gives you like a sense of like something like to keep you going, and you get to pay it forward. You get to, like Mandy was able, can I tell your story or do you want to tell it?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Are you sure you don't want to? It's really, really good.
Oh, yeah, because you got it. You understood what I was getting at. So,
oh my gosh. So she put like an appreciation post in her VIP group and basically said how thankful she was for everybody supporting her in her new journey with Scentsy, and that she was grateful for everyone, and it was all about gratitude. So long story short, she had a customer who was actually, was it your son's bus driver, Miss Mandy?
yes, it's my son's bus driver.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to say.
Yeah, of course.
So it was her son's bus driver who agreed, like she said, I'll cover the tax and shipping for you if you want to get this warmer, and she was going to write her a check. So I guess COVID happened, months went by, they didn't see each other. And finally she, I guess, reconnected with her to find out that her husband had passed away. So Mandy paid it forward and gifted her the warmer as a kind of like, condolences and sympathy gift for her. And that just like really touched my heart that you were able to do that. And that's what like this is really all about, and to be able to have that feeling of purpose. And especially now, like with COVID and how you just feel alone a lot and you're home and you're not seeing people, and it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. So I'm really proud of you for doing that and sharing your stories.
Thank you. No, I think that we all have, different reasons, whether it's our full-time job and stuff. And I definitely have been blessed. Like I work in the medical field, and I do very well with the people I work with. So my reason for Scentsy is more about like, it's kind of like my petty cash to be able to help others that need help. Like I know how badly I wanted my first warmer. So when I knew that she wanted that already, and then she's been missing for a couple weeks, and then we had a bad snowstorm, and so she was getting ready to write the check, and I was so happy that, based on my last party that I closed, I was able to, she doesn't, I want to gift it to her. Like, and my husband, it was like not a question. I said, she lost her husband. The warmer came in. She's about to write that check. Last thing she wants to do is write a check when she has to worry about funerals and whatever. I want to do this, and he's like, absolutely. Like, why wouldn't you? So, but I do. It's for me, it's about meeting people, which I've met so many wonderful people through this process. And it's really just honestly sharing, like, like, hey, this will make your life, that much more pleasant in whatever way. So for me, it's not about, the bottom dollar when it comes to it.
Mandy, for something for local, with you being in the medical field,
Yes.
something that my cousin does, because she's a NICU nurse, for example, what she does is, for her, she just personally just leaves some of her testers and some catalogs and order forms in the break room. And she leaves it there for about a week. And when she goes and checks on it within the week, she has $1,000 order.
Wow.
And that's just from her leaving it there for people to smell. And then people, the reason why she leaves it there for so long is because they smell it and they're like, oh well, they're on the fence about buying it, and then like with it staying there longer, they smell it more and they're like, oh, I really want
That's right. I need to have this.
it.
Absolutely.
So that might help with your local area as far as like where you work, something that you could do.
And
Thank
Mandy, one other thing I'd like to say on you gifting the warmer to her. I had back when we used to have the Charmer warmer, and actually I can show you. So this Charmer warmer here, can you
I've
see it?
seen that warmer.
Okay, well, let me turn this off
Yep.
because I had this imprinted for my mom. And can you
Oh,
see?
wow.
It says, because someone I love is in heaven. There's a little bit of heaven in
Yes.
my home. And you can see behind it is the picture of my stepfather. So I
Oh.
actually had that warmer made for my mother because it was a saying that she always liked, and made her think of my stepfather. So she had a cousin who lost her daughter to suicide. And,
Okay.
obviously very difficult loss for any parent. And she had one of those warmers made. She asked me to make it for her and gave it to her as like flowers just don't seem to be enough. You know what I mean? So she had given her that and just said, put in the back of it. We actually, you could put a picture in the back of those stones. So I did that warmer for her, and she loved it so much. She was so appreciative of it. She then ordered 3 of them for each of her other children.
Wow,
So
how
that they
nice.
all had the same warmer for her daughter. You know what I mean? So it does, it is something, especially like our angel wings warmer and stuff like that. They actually are really good sympathy gifts because it's something that's tangible. It's something that somebody has, you know what I mean? And it's not salesy. I did, one of the girls on our team I had a child that was stillborn, and I did that with the angel wings warmer. I put the child's birth date in the heart, the date that the baby actually passed, in the heart, and put the baby's name in between the wings on the bottom. So
like you took it to like an engraver?
No, I actually did it with Cricut. So I did it with Cricut.
Oh,
I did a decal on the top of it.
nice.
And the heart is very small. It was very, very tiny, tiny words.
I'm
But
sure.
yeah, but it was something that was heartfelt. And when we went to the services, I'm very good friends with her mother, and she was on our team at one point. It's Liz Cressman. I think most of you know her. Liz went on the Mediterranean cruise. Like, she earned the cruise that year, and then she had gotten pregnant, and unfortunately the child was stillborn. But I had given it to her before the services, and she actually brought it to the services with her because she liked the way that the wings were, and it shined on the back, and she had all the babies, like different memorabilia and stuff, like from the baby shower and all stuff like that she had sitting on a table, and she had that warmer there. So it made me feel good that it meant that much to her, that she brought it to the services too. So,
Yeah,
it is
no, it's
something that,
special. That's
yeah.
very special.
Yeah, and people don't think of like, who would think to give a warmer as like, a memorial gift, but they really are very nice for that. It is something that's, you can hold on to, and, flowers die.
Absolutely.
So that was very thoughtful that you did that.
Thank
So
you.
on final thoughts, all I can say about sponsoring is offer the opportunity to everybody. That's my advice. My advice is offer it to everybody. Offer it every time you get an order. When you talk to somebody, say, you sure you don't want to sign up and earn the commission on this one yourself? I ask my customers all the time. I have some of them that it's like a joke now. She's like, no, I'm not going to join, just put my order in, and I go, okay, it's my obligation to ask you, just in case you need it now, because you never know. People's circumstances change, and you never know when it will be the right opportunity for them. So my advice is ask everybody, ask often, and it will get easier the more often that you do it. The more you practice, the better you will get at it. And, it's just, some people could really need it in their life, and they're just waiting for you to ask them. So think of it in the terms of that. When you're uncomfortable about it, you say, you know, you don't know what's going on in their life, and what happens if this could be the life-changing thing that, you know, maybe they just need $100 to, you know, for gas money. You know, maybe they needed to put, you know, oil in their house and heat their house for their children. You know, you don't know what their circumstances are, and don't hold back. You've got this wonderful opportunity and this gift that you can offer to somebody. So offer it to everyone.
Yes, I agree with that too. Just because I had a girl that just recently joined underneath me, and she works at a dentist's office, and there's another Scentsy person who just seen that she had joined underneath me, and she said, "Oh, I didn't know that you were interested in joining Scentsy." Well, the girl that's underneath me came back and said, "Well, honestly, I never really thought about it, but she just asked." So if you just ask, you never know.
So there you go. Like Jerry Springer, there are final thoughts. I don't watch Jerry Springer. My husband does. Just to be clear.
It's funny that came up at work today. I don't know how Jerry Springer came up, but it came up, and we were like, "Is it still even on TV?"
I don't know how Jerry Springer ever comes up. I still don't get it. So I'm going to end the recording with that final thought.
Perfect.